What I do is that I just show you the little mistakes you made and how you can make it look better, like much better. Is that fine?
Yes, fine.
Okay, awesome. So first thing, I'm just gonna take out my frame. You can press F on your keyboard for shortcuts, and then I'm just gonna switch to just taking like a basic desktop. So this is 1440 width and 1024 uh in height. Okay. Now next thing is y- first your navigation, right? It's like taking a lot of road space. Now the idea of navigation in the first place is actually meant to um allow the user to navigate around the app. However, you don't want to put it in the face of somebody. Say for example now, if you are opening a magazine and then the page number is in your face, how are you going to feel? You don't really like it. You understand?
Yes,
Exactly. So that
yes,
is the
yes.
way navigation works too. So you don't want to put that in their face. That's the reason why we actually make sure that everything
Okay.
follows a particular pattern in which is comfortable for users to follow with or follows through with. So for example now, so this one now, instead of taking your navigation and putting like in the main screen, are we together?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm just gonna like create another one, then just set the navigation height of something like so, probably 64, 64 to 84. Okay, then
Okay, sir.
I'm just gonna take all your text here. So what kind of font are you working with? Railway.
Rally me.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take that. Do you use auto layout?
I was using no, no, I use Autolayout.
Okay, me I
I
use
don't
auto.
really know how to use it yet.
All right, so auto layout, what auto layout actually does for you that it allows you to arrange all your items easily. Okay, so I'm just going to select all these like so, and then press Shift A on your keyboard. All right, so immediately you press Shift A on your keyboard, now you set everything inside what one single auto layout. However, there's a problem, and this is where the problem comes from. The problem comes from the fact that you would actually always need to like show your active item like this your what's it called here now, this your straight line icon. All right, so the best thing to do is that you should make each individual as an auto layout. So this is what I mean by that. So instead of like selecting everything, are we together? Let me just take it outside first. mm, is that sound? Yeah, that sound. So instead of like selecting everything, okay, individually, let me just duplicate this
Yeah.
outside there. Okay, let me color white. Now, instead of selecting everything and putting everything in an auto layout all at once like this now, okay, what I will do is that I will
Yeah.
select an individual one and press Shift A. Are you following? Do you see this bounding box around
Yeah.
it? So I'll do the same thing for all of them.
Yeah, I'm seeing
Shift A, select this one, Shift
it's
A.
Autolayout, Abby.
Yeah, so you select one now. If you look on the extreme left, you see all this auto layout icon, and then it will call it like one frame. Are you seeing it? So now we have
Yes,
all
yes.
this. So what I now do is I'll just take my pen to just draw a straight line, okay, while holding Shift, so that the line is actually straight. Okay, so it doesn't have to be big or anything, just drag it and paste it in place. It can be anywhere for now. Okay,
Okay.
I'll just duplicate. Let me just quickly duplicate that there and here and here. So I'm actually holding alternate on my keyboard and using left click to drag and drop, thereby duplicating the icons. Now what I want to do that, and now what I like about Figma is that you can patch edit any element that are closely related. You understand? So I'm going to select all this now, because notice how all these icons, they are staying on the left and right. All right, on the left of all the items. So what I want is that they should be at the bottom. Okay, so that's what I'm just going to do. Yes, I'm just going to select this arrow facing down. Do you get? Now notice that when I clicked on it, it did not go down. Why? Because the text is actually the one that is first, the one that is next to the icon in terms of hierarchy. If you look at on this left hand side, so what we do is I want to take it down. So all you just need to do is press Shift on your keyboard, hello, and press the arrow up. So you see it. So I'm just going to hold Control down. Now then, if you want to do everything at once, right, just hold Control down and then use Shift to select every other item like so, and then hold Shift down and then press the
Both control down.
hold Shift, no, hold Control down. Like you have to first to select two items. Like you now want to select this one directly like this now without having to
Yes.
double click on this stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to hold Shift down and press Control like So and then press the while still holding shift, just press the arrow on your keyboard while holding shift down, so it takes everything down. So the next thing is that you want to select all those lines. Can you see? So you have to hold control and shift together just to select everything again. Then all you just need to do now is what? Fill container. So you just come to see this resizing here. This is for the width. So you just have to do what? Fill container. So it fills up that space. Okay. So anyone that is not active, you just turn it off. Are we together? Are we together? So I'm just going to turn all this one off. Okay. Now the next thing is I don't want all these boxes around it. Okay, like this unnecessary space. So you see this one here, this icon here. Okay, it says what? Padding around items. So I'm just going to change everything back to 0. Can you see it? So we have our smooth and clean interface as it's meant to be. Okay, so now I'll now use our final auto layout. So what does this mean? This means that you can use auto layout inside another auto layout, inside another auto layout, and the list is what? Is endless. So I'm just going to change this spacing to 24. So have you heard about the 4-point grid?
Yes.
Okay, we have heard about the 4-point, so you know that we use any multiples of 4, okay, to do interface.
I think 4 is for mobile.
No, it's not only for mobile. Actually, it's not only for mobile. You can use it for anyone. Yes.
That is 8.
Yes, you can use 8, you can use 16. It just depends on what you are trying to achieve, okay? And then now, like, it's easy to remember. Like 4 is very easy to remember. That's why like a lot of people use it. Okay. So we have this here. So I'm probably going to borrow your search stuff. So and then this other icon. So other thing I noticed that these icons are like extremely tiny. Yeah.
I think maybe if it's on a proper laptop, it will be bigger.
No, you have to specify the size. So these are like stuff you also have to consider. So for example, if you are using icons on desktop, the lowest you want to go is 24, except if it is absolutely necessary for you to go to 16. Okay. So I'm just trying to be lazy. I don't want to type anything. Okay. So I'm just gonna place this here. Alright, now first thing to talk about is your background. Okay, so your background now has this like full, is it full 00000? Oh,
no, it's 1 to 1.
Okay, so 1 to 1 to like the standard, but now you have this green theme going on in your design. Okay, so what you can do is the normal dark mode level is what? 1 to 1 to 1 to, according to Google, like so, right? Now the thing is that you want to do a dark mode variation of this your primary color. So what you do is you just take your primary color, like so. I will just take another rectangle like so, okay, and then use my color eyedropper tool by pressing I on my keyboard and select this. So once I do that, now all I just need to do is just drop this one down to like 10 or 20%. Okay, now you can see this color here is already becoming different. I can do like 20% depending on how where you want it, how like serious you want the grain to come about. 10% is probably okay. So now all I just need to do now is set my background, okay, and then take my eyedropper from here, not from here, from here, okay. Can you see the vibe already compared to this? So
it's slightly green again.
Exactly, slightly green. Or you can even still drop it, like if you don't like, if you feel like the green is still out too much, you can drop it all the way to like 5. Okay.
This one is not the same to like pass through.
You say?
It's not the same to pass through.
No, what pass through actually does is that if you leave it at pass through with 100%, it's still going to have the same like real color. But if you decide to drop it from here, it's still the same thing as dropping it from here. However, if you have like multiple colors and you want to like be able to like control each and everything, you know, a single item now can have like multiple colors. Even in HTML, you can put like 6, 8, 10 colors. So at that moment, you don't want to use pass through, then you want to just like filter them one after the other. So that's what I just did. It's not just going to be like absolutely necessary, but I like the color code I'm seeing here. So now the next thing is okay, let's just finish this once and for all. So I'm just gonna take this. This is the same highlight, okay. So our design is already coming together already. So all I just need is that there has to be like a form of demarcation. So what I can do is I can just take this. Now what you have to do to make this one work is actually just do as if a semicolon. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? It doesn't have to be perfect, just little, just little, just to show that form of difference. It doesn't have to be perfect, just little. But make sure that when you're doing this a curve, you're drawing a curve. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is, okay, I need to pull this one down. So I want to select all the fonts, right? Because they are calling too much attention. I'm going to drop them down to, like I said, they're like page numbers. Navigation is like a big number. I don't want them to what, be your user's face. So 16, fix, okay. Drop this one to 16.
I was using type scale for the font.
What type scale? Is it the type scale website?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then this one now. So I'm still going to select this, okay, and then as usual, just tweak it a little bit by pushing it up. Are you following?
Yep.
Can you see it? This side is feeling more what? More in place, more connected than this on the left. So now moving on, this one now, all I just need to do now is that I have to find a primary color that will go like that will go for my background text. That is what I'm going to use for all of my navigation, apart from the one that is actually active. So what I usually do is that if I have something like this going on already, so whatever the color of my text is, right, on my something that has like a different color, that's what I'll use for that one. So I'm just going to select this, and then I'll just you say it doesn't have to be perfect, it just have to be cranking it up. There's a better way of doing it, right?
Yeah.
There's actually a better way of doing it, but this is like too gray. Don't need too much gray for now. I just need something a bit greenish, but not too greenish. So let me just take it back here again. Too gray, too greenish. And then mind you, I'm actually using HSL, use saturation and lightness. I don't use X. Like many people use X, I don't use it. I prefer this use saturation. Why? Then the people that I also know, that are my friends, they actually use like HSB, use saturation and brightness. So you can determine the brightness of how thick or how light. But me, I prefer the lightness. So how light is it? Because me, I'm this kind of person. I'm kind of designer that I like my design to be vibrant. Okay, so that's why I stick to HSL.
Okay.
So now this one too is 25. So for the sake of uniqueness, right? So I'm dropping it down. Then you have like a duplicate going on here already. Okay, then now your icons, like I said, okay, so this is 24. Let me see. So what is the size we are looking at here? 64. Okay. Just a moment. I'm trying to see. Something doesn't feel right yet. Okay, now I know why. So what I just need to do is close this up a bit, like a bit. I'm gonna take this on up. Since this is the logo, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take this up a bit, like so. So what I'll do is, what I mostly like to do, like I will center the navigation in its container, right? However, notice something here now. You can see that this one here now. So all I just need to do what is pull it down. Are you seeing it? So by me pulling it down, the next I just need to do is I need to select everything again, but from their containers. I know Autolayout can be a mouthful, but it's actually like something that you have to like keep practicing over time. So I'm going to select, so I've selected everything like so, right? So what I did was, once you select the first one, as long as they're in the same family, if you look at here now, this is frame 6, we have frame 5, frame 4, frame 3, frame 2, frame 1. So once you select one of them and then you press Ctrl A on your keyboard or Command A if you're using a MacBook, it's going to select everything. Okay, so now that it has selected everything, what's the next thing for you to do? What you just need to do, what, just change, you see this height here, right? Change it to what, fill container. Now when it is on fill container, you notice that this line has not gone to the bottom. So how do you make sure that it goes to the bottom? Now you come to this place, it's called alignment and padding. All you just need to do is what, is to click on it. So normally we have this number here 10, so we are trying to create a space between this home, are we together, between this text and it's what is active bar. So that's what you can do with this one. But sometimes like this, so sometimes it may not be accurate. Okay, so how then do you now make it very accurate? What you just need, remember that you actually make the parents what, to be very long. So what you just need to do, you just want it to what, to go to this bottom without you even calculating it. So you just select this here and change it from pack to what, to space between. It automatically what, sends it to the bottom. And then the next thing is that now, where's that your primary color now? So let me just go and borrow from your primary color. Okay, so I'm going to select this. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this one now, let me just do a bit of some controls here because it's not feeling like it's in the center yet. So what I'll just do is I'll press alternate to just check on my keyboard. So the height is 21. I cannot categorically say that yet until I'm done with the icon. So let me just pull out the feather icons. So I have a way of like just typing them stuff up. So you can go to just right click on your what's it called? Just right click, okay, and then click on plugins. All right, but I have like a lot of plugins and stuff. So what I do is that there's this quick way of finding things on Figma. All you just need to do is press Control and backslash. That's the one that has question mark on top of it. Okay, so when you do it, all you just so I'll just type what feather icons and then press enter. Okay, but even if you look at it, can you see that compared to what you have here, it's feeling a bit different already? So why that one is still trying to load up? Okay, so let me just work on this. So we have this here. Okay, so this is 16 already. Okay, then let me just try and fix this. So what I used to do too for this one is that I don't actually use these containers. Wow, we have a lot of things going on here. Okay, so I also used to use Autolayout, and then please always make sure that your icons they are similar. It's very important. So search, because if they don't look similar, they will not have these units in they are meant to have. Okay, so search what other thing do you have? I think you have cat, Abby. Carrots. What other icon did you have there again? What's the other icon that you have there again? Cat, notification. This is what I'm saying. My laptop and Google Meet, they are not friends at all. Once I started using Google Meet for a while like this, to just start angry. Okay, so notification. Like so. Alright, so now I know that Wilfred, as well as okay, so what Wilfred did is a picture. Okay, alright, and it's showing that he's online, so I'm just going to put a stroke like you did there, and then borrow your primary color. So what's that your primary color again? Just a moment.
Light green.
So just color pick out to see that it's perfect. Okay. Alright, so why that one is, so we have that already, okay, and it's set to 48 pixels. Now the next thing is I'm just going to select everything. So this one and this one, they are meant to be together. So in UX, right, there's a book called Law of UX, and in one of those theories, they have like a lot of theories in that book. So in one of those theories, they talked about the theory of proximity. That is, items that are closely related to each other should be what? Items that are closely related to each other. I mean, items that are associated with each other should be what? Should be closely related to each other. So, or they should be grouped together. So that's what I'm just going to do. Is that same concept I used to create this. So I'm selecting these two first. I'm putting them in their own what's it called? In their own space. Okay, like what you did. So I'm just going to center this like so. Okay, I'm going to switch this all the way to the left. No, let me put it on the right. All I just need is to adjust the spacing a bit. So remember we're using our 4-point grid. Okay, so I think 48 is kind of weird, so let's do 36 4-point grid. Okay, now drop it. Notice that I'm not even pull out like my grid. So on the web now, if you are doing like a what is it called, on the web, normally the amount of spacing you want to leave out of the box is 32 pixels. So that's what I'm just going to do here, like so. So 32 on the right and on the left. So now afterwards, okay, I'm still going to, it's still looking far apart. Okay, so please let's drop it down to 8 and then shift it again. So we have 32 like so. So that one is done. Now the next thing we need to look at now is your other icon. So these two, they are together too, so I'm just going to select that. Now one thing I noticed was that you removed your icon from its container. Please do not remove the icon from its container. because actually they have different height and different width, but icons need to have a particular pattern. So what we do is that we put them inside a parent frame, all right, that will be able to
Yep.
follow that same pattern. So I'm just going to group this again using auto layout. And then remember our spacing that we had going is 8, but now look at now these two, they are looking too close. So if somebody has a mouse, okay, or is using a touch screen now, it's probably going to like click on the two at the same time. So you don't want that, right? So let's add that enough space to it. Okay, so that we are going to do here. And then we have our bell icon and our cat icon. Okay, so now notice something here. You can see our design is already coming together now. But however, notice how all these other items here, they are dragging attention with the active one. So you don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to select all these ones now. I'm just going to select all the text like so. Are we together? And then the same pattern that we did earlier. So just select this and then push it up. You don't want to be too greenish and too grayish, just something a bit in the middle. All right, so you are done.
Yeah.
Good. So just freestyle, but notice that it is what you are going to be using like in most of your designs. So are you beginning to notice it? So I think it's too greenish. So to just quickly solve that, now this is why HSL comes in very handy. So to quickly solve that, right, all I just need is to come to my saturation. All right, so my saturation actually moves from gray to extremely green. So if I just drop it down to like say 6 or 4, okay, can you notice the difference now? That's dropped down. So what I want to now do is that I want to take the lightness, which is this one. Okay, so if I put 64, look at what happens. It goes up. So what I want to do, I want to reduce it. Okay, so this is add to 6. So you want to do say something like 45. Now you can see about 45, you can see it, right? But it is not going in the way of your home. So that is okay. So you can see that with the number now, I'm able to work. Because I'm already used to it, so I use 45, between 45 and 50 in most of my designs. So I'm used to it already. So I didn't know what to do when it comes to that. I noticed that I did not use opacity. I know that a lot of people use opacity, but the problem with opacity is that when you start using it on interfaces like and some people have like very poor screens, right? By the time they are looking at it, they won't even say anything at all. Like they won't say anything. So when you do that, you want to make sure that even if it's an opacity, you want to use the color of hue of that opacity so that nothing is just blurring through. So now the next thing is this icon. So because I've already worked on this one already, so I'm just going to borrow this one of these text here and place it beside the icon. All right, and then call it search. Okay, now the next thing is I'm just going to select this two and add auto layer by pressing Shift and A on my keyboard. All right, now with Shift A I can easily set the alignment apparently. So this I just want to set it like just give me 8 on outside, right? And then I just want you to round it off a bit. So a lot actually, but a bit is fine. 8. Then just give me a stroke. Okay, I don't want the stroke. Let's go with your fill instead. Okay, so now with this fill, so we already have this one going on for us earlier, so I'm just going to take that. Okay, like so, and bring it here. Now this is where auto layout comes like very handy, and you see very shortly. So now notice how this icon looks a bit like here, and then the search is like it's on its own. So what you want to do, that you want to select the parent container. I hope you are following.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know why it's selecting. Okay, I don't think it's inside the frame. So you want to select the parent container, right? And then what you do is you select this icon here, this alignment apart, and then you left align center so that it centers it properly. Okay, then now the next thing is I just need to change the color of this. All right, so let me just take this color code and use here on it. So it's not picking a while because it's not actually under selection color. So I'm just going to select this selection colors. I love this feature about Figma. Okay, and then our design is coming together. All right, so but now notice that there's still too much space between this one. Remember what we talked about, proximity, right? So I'm just going to press 8 on my keyboard. So and we have our design. Now another issue I noticed is that is actually like struggling to breathe around. So what you can just do is now you can, this is where now in this case you can now drop this one down to say probably 20 or 18. Okay, so 20 for our icon or 18. All right, so 18 works. So now please pay attention now. I want you to watch this closely now. So all these ones are on the extreme right, right? So I'm going to select these three. So I'll put them in the auto layout. Are you following? So I'll put them in the auto layout. Center them like so. Now this one is actually closer to this one. All right. So I'm just going to select these two and then put them in the auto layout. Okay. So but this time I'm taking this one down. All right. So now the next thing is I just have to adjust this spacing. So I think 64 should be okay. Or 48. Yeah. So this is cool. Now remember, everything is what? It's coming all together. So all I just need is what? Select this one. I don't know why this one is coming. Yeah, face. I'll figure it out shortly. I don't think this frame is actually inside. Then this is the issue I have with Figma. Like if you put something on top, sometimes it may not even be inside it. Okay. So let's select everything. So I'm holding shift, right? And I'm selecting everything now. That's the overall parent container, and then I'm holding pressing shift A again. You see it now. So what does it do?
Yes.
It makes sure that what everything is in place. I can take it down a bit, alright, and then now I'll just take this as the background color. Can you see it? So you can see I've done everything what with auto layout. Then now with auto layouts now all I just need is what? Specify what I want. So at the top, if I want 16 pixels, I'll do that. On the left it should be 32, on the right 32, and we are done. Okay, and then I'll center everything. Can you see it? But now there's a problem. This search, okay, is not what? It's not sitting well. So all you just need to select this one and what? Place it in the center like so. Or okay, I think this search I have to take it out totally. Okay, and then make sure that this one now I'll pull it all the way to the end again. Are we together? And then now inside this search, hold on, wait for it. So this one, you know this one is too, this one is supposed to be on the extreme. So I just need to remember the idea of space between. So I'll do that. So inside this search now, this search itself now, right? I'm going to create another parent container. Like so. Are you seeing it? So this parent container now will make everything more center. So all I just need to drop it back inside there. So I'm going to first cut it away, select the item, and then drop it back there. Like so. Can you see it now? So all I just need now is to what? Select this one and then push it all the way to the top. No. Let me see. I don't know, it's not working, but I think I will just probably put it on top it that way and then center it. Okay, so I'll just drop it here. So I'll use my so while pressing alternate just to check the spacing between them. Okay, then 1 2 3 4. And we are good. Okay, so all I just need is to pull this one a bit longer, make it more curved. And let me see whether if I center it to work as it should be. Okay, so this works. Now the next thing is what? So we figured out all of this already. So the next thing is just your main content, right?
Yeah, so, and there's a background image too.
There's a background image. Can't see.
Yes.
I can't see your background image.
I mean, it's very blurry.
I can't see your background. I'm only seeing black here. I'm only seeing black actually. I can't see your background. See?
And there's a layer of black on it.
Oh, this. It's not visible now. It's not even there.
I just put it there so it's not look too black.
Oh, okay, but you can see what I did with this one. So I'm still probably going to use it, but let me just focus on this right now. Okay, so this one now, all right. If you want to use the rule of type scale, it works. Okay, but the way you gave me right is too close to this icon, so I will just try and fix it. So hopefully we will have enough time to like fix everything once and for all. So I'm just going to like give this one space, okay, just for things to breathe around for now. Then work on this one. Okay, so first thing first, you're working with desktop, right? You don't want something to be too small, too big. And then when even though you're working with type scale, you want to make sure that you're working with something realistic or realizable. So if I even go to like type scale now, type it typescale.com, all right, and I use say for example, even I want to use like something like avant-garde. Okay, right now it's still loading. Let me just continue what I'm doing. So I'll probably start from say probably 57 or 64 for my heading. Okay, and then for my text now, that's, remember I was telling you about visual reading, is that people must be able to navigate, move their eyes from here without feeling like there's a lag. So after 57 now, you divide it by what? 1.16, 1.618. What does that give you? So 64
57 divided by 1.618.
no, 57, yes, 57 divided by 1.618. That's 35.22. So you do 35.22, or you round it off to what? 36.
64, 57.
57. You round it off as 36.
35 point.
So is either you do 35, all right, or 32, because after, if you are working with 4-point grid, right, you are just looking for something that is very close to it, so you either use something lower or something higher. So I'm probably going to go with 32. Then the next thing is, please use, if you are working with paragraphs, right, make sure you use what? Paragraph text, at this paragraph icon here, all right. So you can see that this works now. So if I divide it once more, probably divided by 2 now, so 32 divided by 2 give you what? 16, right? So but if it's 1.618, that would be like say around 18 or 19. So I'll just leave it at what? 20, so there's no word between them. Okay, now the next thing is your line height, because this is hard to read, all right. So your line height is, your line height should just be, say for example, you can use 1.125 pixels, right? So those are like just basic numbers that you should just know. So it's just very straightforward. So just like actually it just helps you to like have a what is it called, a way of like, they just actually help you to have a way of like knowing what exact type you are meant to use, and they actually follow a visual or rhythm musical pattern. So I'm just going to do 20, are we together, times 1.125. okay, and then we have this. So now, or you can even double it, so you have what? 22.5. So you can double it and say, okay, let's say you have what? 22.5 plus 22.5. What would that give you?
22.5 plus 22.5.
So that will give you 45. So, and you can see that what? 45 is good, but not what we are trying to achieve. So 23 or 24 rather should work okay. Now, if you feel like you still need more space, you can always add more space to it. So let me do say 28. I still don't like it actually. 32. Oh, 32 works perfectly. So now the next thing is, I'm just trying to make sure that they are well aligned. Okay, just your normal basic alignment stuff. Then I don't know what you are trying to apply here. Like, is this a glow? Like this container that you're adding here, so this is meant to be the glow, Abby. So if you are trying to apply
the line, Abby,
yeah, that line, then you added something at the back of it, I think like a glow, and then it's even made out of picture. Okay, that's not it. No, no, let's not do something like that. So now the next thing I notice is your.
I just try to make it slightly fancy.
You said what? What did you say? So
I just try to make it slightly fancy.
no. There are better ways to make stuff fancy. We'll do that shortly. Okay. So now the next stuff is your game ratings, right? So depending on how you are trying to achieve this, so probably you want to just leave out this. Okay, you can leave this one out and just put this one here, like all the way to the left. Okay, so that users already see that okay, this is people understand what when they see 5-star or 4-star, they already know. So there are something that you don't need to like repeat to them again. So you can now say now after this one, now you can now say okay, game rating. Are we together? You can now have this here,
Yes.
just like a form of repetition. Okay, so you can have like game rating here. So you can see that it's looking kind of different from what we have earlier. Wow, I should have duplicated it too. Okay, let me just copy it again and paste.
Okay.
So now your color for this now, can you see it? So as you're going to select your primary color again, wow, my head feels like feels like falling down. Okay, so I'm just going to push it up a bit. Okay, not too greenish, but close to white this time around. So that it's like a lot more, that's a lot more attention than your navigation here. Alright, so let's just see. Okay, no, let's bring it down a bit. Alright, this works well. Now the next thing is your text here. Now they are very tiny, so I want to fix that very quickly. Okay, then I noticed that you're using like this one is a picture, and this also too is a picture. You don't need that actually. See, just install Iconify plugin. Okay, with Iconify plugin, there's almost like what it does is that it actually helps you to search through a lot of Iconify. Install Iconify plugin. So what Iconify plugin does is that it has a lot of libraries of icons from different sources. Okay, so that you don't even need to like search through the internet or go to some website that you have to pay just to get a Windows icon. So all I just need to come here and just type Windows. Okay, so that it is an SVG that you can always you can always edit from time to time. My laptop usually respond faster than it will because of the Iconify. You can see my screen now. So all you just need to do is left click and drag and drop on your desktop like this. Okay, if it doesn't work, click on what import.
Iconify.
I'm just going to change this back to white for now. Okay, and then what other icon did you have there again apart from that one? You had another icon.
Also, I wanted to use a PlayStation.
Okay, yeah, a PlayStation 2. Okay,
PlayStation. Iconify.
PlayStation. Okay, so let's search for the icon. Says cannot find. I think I'm not spelling it very well. Okay, so this is PlayStation here. Can you see it? I'm just gonna take that and play it in place like so. Alright, so I'm just gonna crack this up a bit. So remember we're working with 24, right? So 24.
Yep.
Take this one to what? 24. Okay, now you said that we have platform, so let me just change this P here to capital letter. Then so the platform is what? It's PlayStation, right? So we'll do that here. Then what again? Platforms, PlayStation.
And Windows.
Windows. Okay. And there's no need for you to put Windows, type Windows 10 again now. So you can just call this on platforms. Okay.
If I put it in, that means I was actually specific.
Oh, okay. And so you can just put it in place like this. So but instead of 12 now, you can make it 14. So 14 is like my own smallest for desktop. If you are working with desktop, please 14 is okay. We can go with 12, but just know that majority of your audience who might have eyesight problem or struggle with seeing your interface, which is another big deal that you want to consider. Okay, so 16, 8. All right. So now then you have your last but not the least, your genre. So I'm beginning to notice something now, right? So we have the genre.
Yeah.
Now this one too is very hard to read. Okay, so what you can do is you can take off the. So I notice that you group a lot, or grouping doesn't actually. I don't like grouping for stuff that you can actually like do a lot less, right? In terms of working, instead of drawing rectangle and likes, you can just use Autolayout to make your life very easy. So I'm still even trying to find where it is grouped so that I can group everything. Okay, so I'm just going to select. If I select everything, you know what will happen now. So then this one now, notice, see you have paragraph here. So you want to change all these things to what? Auto width under your text, please. Auto width. Okay. Then I'm going to select individually. Press Shift A. This other one Shift A. This other one Shift A. Okay, I'm going to select all the three, like so, and then put them inside another what? Auto layout. So now the next thing is I'm going to make sure that all of them they are what? Sitting side by side. Then the next thing now I'm going to do is what? Make sure that individually, okay, all their padding. So remember, I just press after selecting one, just press Ctrl to select others. So I'm just going to reduce it to like say 2 or 4. Okay, so it has reduced drastically. Okay, so all right, then the next thing I just need to what? Change the color of the background. That's individually too. So I'm going to select everything again, and then remember what we did here for search. Okay, so I'm just going to borrow that again, like so. So by doing that, oh, chose the wrong thing. All right. Okay. Oh, it's not capturing the background, so I'm just going to Ctrl C, Ctrl A, add a fill. Are we together? Add a fill.
Yes.
And then change the fill to what? To that color. All right, and then for each of the elements inside it now, I can now borrow from this one here, this one on top. So normally, because I'm rushing, normally I actually used to like preset everything down so that I'll just be taking the colors from it. So the next thing is I just want to make sure that everything is rounded off. Okay. So
Yeah.
16, just to make sure that everything is well rounded. Then I'm just going to add a bit of spacing between them. So probably 16. Oh, sorry, that's not the container. This is totally I can become confusing a bit. So instead of 0, let's do 8. 8 seems too far apart. 4. So 4 feels very close. Are you seeing it? Then I noticed that it feels like these text now they are being choked up on the left and the right hand side. So what you can do is just select everything like so. Then click one of the points, right? And then so this one is for what I will do is I just adjust it a bit. 8 on the left hand side and 8 on the right hand side, like so. Okay, so if you look at it now, so I think I need to close this. All right, so then there's no need for me to like stick with this. If you feel like it's absolutely important, you can still leave it at this. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so this genre and game racing can actually like go together, or this platform, so whichever one you are trying to do. So you can say for almost everything I always like hit everything inside another auto layout of another auto layout of another auto layout. Okay, so this one and this one can go together actually if you look at it very more closely. So and then remember to center them up again, like so, right? So now that they are well centered, then this one now just a little bit of fixing. So we have 40 going on here. I want to drop it down a bit. So I'm going to use my scale tool now for this. Okay, by pressing alternate and drag down. Okay, or you can come here. You see it, this has changed to what? To the scale tool. So what scale does is that it makes sure that everything still maintains the same proportion in height and width. Okay, so that, because if you use the normal tool to drag it, everything, yeah, it will not do as you need it to. So you can try it on Figma and see the difference. So
Use alternate.
not alternate,
Alternate.
scale to just scale to reduce it a bit. Okay, so then I'm going to select
The
this.
plugin.
No, it's not a plugin, it's built into Figma. This is there. See my arrow tool, my move tool, right? After move tool, we have scale.
Yeah.
Are we together? So we have
Okay.
we have scale, we even have slice, but many people don't even use it. So are you seeing how the interface is coming all together like this now compared to what we had before? So now, so remember, items that are closely related should be what? Should be placed together. So I'm going to set this one to 8, like so, and then this one to be set to 8, like so, and then I'm going to select the two and then place them inside another Autolayout again. It feels like a lot of work, right? Well, it's actually like what is best. So this one, I like the what is going on here already, like in terms of the font, my 16 is visible, somebody can read it. So that's what I'm just going to use for this one. So I'm going to use 16. Okay, I think I pressed something weird. All right, so 16. So can you see it now? Then
Yep.
I noticed that this one now is placed in bold. So you want to also have that what is it called? That relationship between each of the apps, right? So that's what I'm just trying to do here now. I don't know why, but my screen resolution is actually out of place, and I don't want to restart my Figma for now. Finally, okay. So now, yeah, I'm going to select this and just make sure that everything is center lined. Okay, that's the alignment and padding, and then so this one I can do 36 just to make sure that spacing is working. So 24, right? So now you can see that there's this flow in our interface. Okay, now this is where you now have to consider on that thing here now, the spacing. So you have to have this idea of repetition. So what's the space here now? So we have, so if I look at this one, okay, we have 57. So if I select this one and select this one, we have 27. So since we are working with 4-point grid, so you want to drop it down to what? Increase it to what? 28, right? So and then 28 divided by 2 is what? Because you want to establish more relationship now. So 28 divided by 2 is what?
No.
It's 14. Okay, so what's the next thing in under our 4-point grid? After 14 is what? 16, right? So that we are going to use, we use 16. And then we bring this on to, because of that relationship, we take it up, and then we use what? Another 16. Are you following? Then this one now, this font here is small. This one is meant to be what? 16. Okay, then this one too. So this one now, you can either use 16 or 14 depending on what you're trying to achieve. But me, I like to see my information very well. So 16, and then the last but not the least, 16. Okay, so can you see the difference now? Can you see how everything look more tightly related to each other? So then the next thing is, compared to what you have here before, okay, it's hard to see, people are struggling around to understand information. They're asking themselves, is it credible or not? So the next thing is what? Is the buy, okay, and then the amount. So I'm just going to duplicate that and put on here on the interface. All right, so the first thing you want to do is that, remember we have 28 here. So if your button is following it, so this one has to be what? 28. So I'm going to ungroup this for now. Ungroup this. All I just need is the text. Okay, and now you can see that you are dragging the text where you are not supposed to. So if you come back to this place, just put it here, right? This auto width, and then press shift on your keyboard. So what that does is that it gives you a box that you can work with, and then your auto width still stays in place. Now notice something, when you drag this, right, it is not staying in the center. You want your button to stay in the center. True. So what do? You know what I'm saying about Figma and sharing my screen? They are not friends at all. Okay, so if I select this now, all I just say is what? Come here, that's alignment and padding, and what? Place it in the center, like so. Alright, then I'm just going to add the necessary padding and margin I want. Okay, so for my button, hold on, let me try and do this thing again. Figma is like this today. Okay. You can see how my system is just slowing down. So now for my button, all right. So all I just is what? Make sure I have my padding. So this one I'll do say 12, 16, 12, 16. All right. So then I'll borrow
Yep.
the color of your. So let me just click on fill first, just to add the fill. Yeah. Okay, now our fill is there. Then I can select this in place. Okay.
Yep.
So and then we add the border radius or corner radius. So depending on what you are trying to achieve, right? So I just want this to be a bit playful and fun. Now the next thing is I'll just group all of this. So these two, they are very close to each other, remember. So I've not even grouped these two. Shift A. So I'll group these two together first. Select this one, group it together. Alright. Select these two, group them together. Are you seeing it? So that's the pattern I'm following. Can you see how everything is looking? So I'll group all this one together. Such that now if I want to add, so I want to make sure that this one space is the same thing as this one. I just need to what? Come here and change it to what? 28. Remember? So you can see it now. And then you can see that visual reading I was talking about. Then everything just flows all the way to the bottom. So it's leading your eye to go to what? You can't touch that button. You cannot escape it. It's inescapable. Then instead of like putting $50 outside, right? You can just say buy for $50. Then this your button is hard to make white text visible. $50. So I just need to change your button color just slightly. So I'll just actually tweak the lightness a bit. Can you see it? So I dropped it to 45. So do you see it now? Just by what? Adjusting the color of the button, the text is more what? Visible. So these are like things you also need to consider. Or you can use a plugin called A11Y. A11Y. It helps you to check the accessibility to see whether the color of your text is actually performing very well or not. So let me do it again. So let's take your text again. So you have your text here, right? So let me just duplicate it here. And then I'll do A11Y. This is color contrast checker. So if you check the color contrast for you now, alright, so now I click on check. So now the problem is that it has to be in a frame. So what I'll just do that I'll just right click and then click on what? Frame selection. Are you seeing it? And then I'll click on check. Do you see it? Do you see the errors? Can you see the errors? Alright. So now let's work with this one. Say what? Text lightness and what? Background lightness. Now if you adjust it a bit, do you see it now? Are you seeing it? But what is happening even with all this is that what? There's nothing wrong with your text. Is what? Is your background, right? So you can either choose to shift it to the back. Are you seeing it? Or shift it to, if you shift it extremely to the front, can you see? So shift it to what? To the back. Are you seeing it? So this is what this type of users can see, but this type of users cannot what? Cannot see it. So you can shift it to the what? To the back a bit more. Do you understand? And then you can try and increase this one a lot more. So if you don't want your button to be too dark, so what you can do is that you can push this one like this, right? And then take this next one and then push it close, or not too close. Are we together? So let me see if I can pull this one all the way to the back. Oh, this black, white to black. So if this is that, then this is this, something around here. Are you seeing the color of the button now?
Yep.
So let's track my own. Though I know my own will not pass, but let's just check. So I'm going to click down on that one and then click on check again. Do you see the background lightness? This side filled on both sides, so you just need to push it back a bit. Push it back a bit. Can you see it? But now it defeats what we are trying to achieve, right? So what you can do in this case is that you can actually make this one an opacity and then make a light color of it, and then, or you try and inverse it. Do you understand? You inverse it. So how do you inverse? So you just change this one. So I'll just copy this color for now. Okay, select the buy for something, paste it here, alright, and then take the other one and then make it what? White. Now if I select this one again, Are you following? And then let me click on check again. Can you see? Amazing. Do you see it? And it
Yes.
also forms that idea of what repetition. But now this is our color code. So what I can do is what I can go and take our color code again. And then let's check. Look how you feel hopefully now. Wait, oh. Do you see it? So all it just is what it's just to adjust the text lightness. Can you see it? And then you pass.
A11Y, Abby.
Yes. Do you see it? Because this now is very important when you are designing. Accessibility is one of the most important things that you can actually ever think about in your designs. Alright. So now the next thing you want to do now is your character. So I'm just going to take your character very quickly and put your character in place. Okay. So this is your character here now. And he has all these stuff going on. Remember I told you that there's nothing like no green highlight to show whether it's in the app or something. So I'll just put your character in place. Alright. Almost the same height. No, I'm going to make it bigger actually. Like a lot bigger. Okay, this works. Can you see the way his hand? I didn't pick your picture for you, but you can see the way his hand and everything. So I'm going to send it to the back. Okay. So it feels like what? Now look at now. See how the red. Hold on. You can see how the red is passing an information and then you are following through with his hand. Okay. So now the next thing to do with this is what? I will add just I'll take a circle. Alright. I'll put this circle does is actually the highlight. Okay. So I'm going to take your color code again. Alright, and then change the effect to what? Layer blur. Are we together? And then crank up the layer blur. There's a time that Figma you cannot go beyond 255. Alright, I've cranked up the layer blur. I hope you are following now. I want you to see something very interesting here now. I'll use it to cover the soldier like this. Or the guy. All I just needs to what? See this pass through. Just change it to overlay. Can you see that green highlight going on the soldier? Right? So but now the next issue, let me just adjust this a bit. Let me just adjust it a bit. Can see that I'm controlling the circle. So it feels like the light coming from the top. Alright?
Yes.
So I'll duplicate it, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. And then open this one up like so. So I'm trying to form a light now. Oh, it didn't duplicate. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. That's duplicated. So now I'm just going to open the arc a bit, just like half of it anyways. Okay, and then now I'm going to increase our intensity back. So from 100, a bit from overlay, I'm going to do add light. Can you see the add light? So all I just need what? Just reduce it a bit and then send it to the back. Like this one, go. This one, send it to the back. Send it to the back. Yeah, and then push it up. Push it up. Okay, still need to adjust it a bit. This has to come down. Let me first bring this one down. Though with Photoshop I can like achieve something better, like a lot better, but this is Figma. We just need to do what we have. Okay, so let's see, what am I missing? Not color. I'm not coloring. Is this one that is, if I wanted to color, I'll do something different. This is screen. Okay, so you can see that light. Then this one now, if I want to do like color on it, so let's change this one to color. So it will really just color it. It won't shout. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
So we just color it a bit. So this is why I like blend mode in Figma. Alright. So now the next issue is that you want some of the part of your picture to be blurry, like this one now, because you want to show this kind of infiniteness. So how do you do that? So you can take another circle or take another circle, like, but this time around it has to be big. Okay, and then now you select your item, that's your picture. All right, and then you mask it. So whatever effect you be applying, you won't apply it to the picture, but what you be applying it to what you can easily use as maps at the top. So that's what you do. Alright, so the only thing that I just need to do now is what, so even with this one I can choose to like color the marks, but I don't know why it's meant to do something different. So I'm just going to take off the color of the masking tool. Hold on, what just happened? What's wrong with Figma? Oh, it's using I've forgotten that it's what the item that is in the background that I to use as the mask. Okay, so I need to take this one up. So I'm bringing the picture up and then the one at the back. Okay, and then I'm masking them. Good. So you can see it now. So that infiniteness is there. You see it. So all I just need to do now is what, add effects, and then I can add my layer blur now. Where is it? Layer blur. Alright, then crank it up. Are you seeing it? You see how it's like his leg? So you notice that this is more like a master class I'm doing for you, but you notice that it doesn't feel like a cut picture anymore. What does it feel like? It's like his leg is inside this design, right? Whereas it is not. So you get, so and you can see the highlight, but now notice something, the highlight is not reflecting on his hair apart from the background. So that's why you have to work, go and take your, so this one now, this other one here now, remember is doing the work of our color. So what we can do is that you want to cut it and also put it inside the mask. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to put it inside the mask, okay, and then put it in place. So this is it here. All right, let me just pull it, push. So do you see it now? So it feels like it is this infiniteness. So I'm just going to make sure there's only the air, so like coming from the top. Like so. No. Oh, okay. So you can bend it a bit. Then if I want to go further, I'll still add like some highlights on the shoulder and the legs and the story is long. So I can still continue that. But then like this is like long journey. But if it's Photoshop now, I can do like all these stuff. So these are like stuff you consider. That's why when you're creating assets for all these kind of things, it's not small work. Like you're creating asset for game designs and the likes. So all these places like this now, that there will be lights. So you have to like make sure that I put all those lights. So the same thing too. So this one now, if I can get this light correctly. So I'm just going to select the same this lightness here. Are you seeing it? Increase it a bit. Then remember it's color. We are using color, right? So we're going to color it again, just to color it. This it, and then I'll change it to what, something like that. Just something like that. So close to white. Yeah, somewhere here. This it. So if you click outside now, this it. Can you see how neat it looks like compared to what you had before? So all those little are like the same thing too you do on his hair. So you do on his hair. So these are like Photoshop hacks anyways, but one thing I like about Figma is that it makes your life very easy with all this kind of stuff. So it's becoming too, the light is already becoming too long. Hold on. Just for you to add all these highlights. So and we are done. So this one I've just probably dropped like 2 or 5. Doesn't have to be plenty. Okay. And remember we're working what? It doesn't have to be like perfect. So this part of like making your work very easy and fast. So I'm just going to do what? Blend mode, and change the blend mode back to what? To color. Okay. You see it now. And then you can continue increasing and increasing and increasing the way you feel is best, and then just take it to like the perfect position where you feel it can work. So I think this is too much anyways. So once you duplicate like 2 or 3 times, right, it should work well. Okay. And then now, last but not least, you just need one more second on top of it. So you know this highlight, this one at the background itself. So if only I can get the one at the background itself now. This is 2 lines already. Not this one. I look for the last circle at the background. Okay, you know what? Let me just start turning all of this thing off. Turn it off. All right, 1, 2. Yes, this one. So I'm just going to copy this one now, right? So let me just press Ctrl Z so that I can bring everything back. Okay, so now select the container again. Are you seeing it? And I'll paste the new circle inside it. So this one, this new circle that I've pasted inside now, I can now bring the highlight on its edge. Are we together? So this time I remember it is screen, but this time we are going to do what? Overlay. Sorry, not overlay. Add light again. Good. Then put it in place. Okay. Now, nice. Now the next thing. Okay, now I think there's too much going on our edge, on our character's edge. Okay, I need to remove this circle totally. Okay, this line, let me drop it to 4. Still too much. Probably 2. Good. So 2 works. Okay. So now all these little places. Okay, this is back, so there's no need for any other one. Alright. So now I can select everything here. Like everything here. Okay. And then bring it down a bit. Like so. Okay. Then for our button, let's see whether if we increase it. It works very well. Does it work? No.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't actually. So what we can just do that. Let's just make sure that it equals this one here. Okay. Alright, and then let's add more spacing. So say 32. Now I'm beginning to notice a problem. It's too much, it's too far away from this one. So let me just select this one and put these two together again. Okay, and excuse me, change this one to 16. No, 8. Okay, now the overall spacing. Now let me add more. So multiply by 2, give it 64. Too far away, so 48. Just you actually noticing all those numbers I'm using, just very close. So exactly. Then normally what we used to do, that we actually used to like it was before that you can just design like from edge to edge, because of the amount of screens that is coming out nowadays, right? And it's not easy to account for. So what we used to do now is that we take our item like this, right? So instead of like using the total screens, so what we do is that we use like 1140 like this, or 1180. Press enter, then center this one. So every other element now is what we are going to form as the base. So we'll pull out our grid like so. Okay, and then the other one like so. Alright, then there's this other design trend that will say that, okay, well, after your item here, right, you want to do like the golden ratio grid form, so which is like that's double of this. So double of this, like, you know, when I select this and put here, that's 130, right? So let's just say we are using so 130 plus 130 will give us what?
130 plus 130, I mean.
Yes.
260.
26 what?
260.
Exactly. So we'll do what? 260. So anything we're going to do is way. So what do we have here? 233. What do we have here? 305. What do we have here? 277. 267. 260. Are you following? And then you can place your elements here. Okay, so this is, and then every other element that you want to place. But now look at the size here. This is 1033. So if I take this one out, all right, take this one out, take this one out. Now remember that line that I used before that I said you wanted to do something like glow, all right? So I'm just going to do that again. Okay, so this is it again. I'm just going to borrow this right here. Okay, now for your glow, you just draw a rectangle on top it, so the same height but a rectangle this time around. So what's the height of this? So we have 294. So this one I'm going to do, okay, 280. Okay, 294. Let me pull this one down like so. I think there's a line here. Okay, no line. Are you seeing it? And then you do a gradient, just light to dark. So you select this one. Are you following? Now
Yep.
select this one, change it to what? Linear gradient. Can you see it? All you just need is what? Make it what? 90 degrees. So bring this one here, take this one here. Okay, and then this one now, instead of this one here that I selected, instead of, so this one is already on 0. Okay, this one is on what? Is on 100. So you just want to what? Drop it down like so. Now the next thing you want to do before you change the color finally is you want to put it, say, somewhere around here. Okay, to have that sense of uniformity. And remember, with what we add here, okay, this is our color code, right? So I'm just going to copy that and then use that for this. Okay, so change it back to what? Est, then put that one in place, and then put this one in what? In place, like so. But it's still showing. So how do you make sure that it doesn't show? All you just need what? Put this one here. So something here. Or probably take this one, use the normal background color for this side, this other side.
Yeah.
While for this one, use the light. So what that gives you now is that, so what you just need to do is just keep pushing it this way. Are you seeing it? But if you need that clean blend, so you have to be taking this one back, like so. All right, don't worry, it will generate the code for you. Or if you still want that light to be there, just push it forward. Okay, yeah, I'm holding shift on my keyboard. So now the next thing is, once you're satisfied with what you have or what you see, okay, all you just need is what? Take it backwards. Can you see it? And then
To the back.
yeah, to the back. So now that you've added the linear, you just remember one more thing. Now the next is for you to add what? Your effect. So you want to add what we call the layer blur again, because of the edges. Remember, what we have been trying to do is what? All those infiniteness. So just change it back to what? To layer blur. Okay, and then now you add the layer blur to it, so that those edges are not like very clear. So I always like to go with like 255 first, like my go-to number. So then if I say it's out of it, and I start reducing it, so I think probably 155, 98. Can you see it? You see that infiniteness? It doesn't look like it's one edge cut out stuff. Okay, so this one now, you also want to what? Give it a what? That vibrant color. So I think still have that here. So now, but this one is taking a lot of attention. So how do you do it? Remember what we said now. So just drop it down. This is it. Oh, where is it next?
Yes.
Sorry. Not too white, not too dark, just somewhere close to the middle. Are you seeing it? So now the next thing that you add here is okay, this stuff here at the back. So I'm just going to take that and put in place. So okay, there are even images again. So one, take this one out. You can like do just normal overlay. So you can see that you're using a lot of redundant assets, like a lot of it. So I don't really need that, sincerely. So we are trying to go with a normal laptop screen or any screen at all. This kind of height is what we need. Okay, this kind of height. So let me see. 419 by 219. So this one should be 419 by 2. All right. So and it probably, because it's going to be fighting for attention, so you want to take it down. This one is going to go down like down like this. And it will even have like another heading self, based on what I'm saying. So then this one that you have here, put it here. So 419 219. Okay, then you can bring down to the top like so. Now the spacing has to be very accurate. So we are doing 70 here, then this other one has to be 70. Alright, and then you select the 3 now, and then you can tidy them up or distribute horizontal center like so. So we have here is what? 22. Okay, and then we group them, but if we use shift A, it's going to try and make them the same height. Alright, so to add that more level of vibrancy or continuation, you don't need this green highlighting. All you just need is to borrow from this one. Okay, so I'm just going to turn it very quickly like so, and then put on top. I'm trying to change the orientation a bit. Oh, sorry. Minus 90. Is it minus 90 or 0? Okay, minus 90. Then now, just put this one up. So I'm holding shift down. Okay. So, can you see it now? So I can take all of this now, select this one too. Hold shift, double click on this one so that they are well grouped together. Okay. Or I can use Autolayout, anyone that works. Then, we group all these ones again. Then I can shift them down. Okay, so this one I think can still go down a bit. So, okay, this one needs a bit adjustment. So I'm changing this now to 80% because of the lights. I don't want the light to be too much and too small at the same time. So you can see what you had before and now. So this place feels like a bit empty, alright, but you can always like I think pushing this one up a bit, and then it can be like other games. So other related games. You have like other related games, right? So other related games. Then change this one to white, and then put in place. Not too close, not too far. 24 should do it. Okay, and then just add like a bit of letter spacing to have that game vibe. 4%, and we are done. So can you see what we have here now compared to what you have here? How everything feels so closed and choked up, alright? And then now I took it from this to this, and I ended up reducing like a lot of the assets that you used in your final design. Okay, so can you see a difference now? Can you see? So even if you do a presentation of this, you will still be able to see all of this in like all. So you can add the picture of whatever you want to add there, and so on and so forth, and then the list the other items that you can do to like clean up your pages are there. So can you see that when I zoom out, I can still see this compared to this. Do you understand? It may not be readable, but at least you know that it's a bunch of text. This one is more like a bunch of lines. So all those things, you can see the spacing, letter space and everything, and the white spacing around everything. So only make sure you also focus on that. So this one now, if you want to put it there, so I can also still put it, so it doesn't, our background doesn't feel a bit boring. So I'm just going to use that of his face anyways, and then send it all the way to the back, like so. Okay, and then now all I just need to what is drop it down, say like 50. In fact, 40, and then add our what? Our screen. This screen doesn't work, we'll keep trying it till we see something that works. This is color. I don't think color is working because we can't see it at all. So I'm trying to see. Oh, okay, so let me use multiply. What multiply does is that it just increases all the blacks. So if I drop this one back to 90, take it to 90, and take this one back to 100. Let's see what to drop. This is still there now. So now let me just make sure that it fills up the entire screen. Can you see the difference now? You can see your picture, right? But it's not also in the way of what? Of your design. Using what? What did I use? I used what? Multiply. So you can see that everything is jacked up, like really jacked up. The only thing that is now in the way is this our this thing here. So let me just remove. I think it's the other background I liked. Hopefully I can just find it. Not this one. I think this one. If I do now, what is the meaning? this one aside. Okay, so this one is like the one containing all our colors, all our highlights in the first place. Okay, so yes, then I'm going to have to drop it down like a lot, like a whole lot. I'll fix the layer blur by dropping this one down too. Okay, but I don't want it to get in the way of this. So now what I can go ahead to do is bringing that one back. So let's bring back our mask group. Okay, and then putting this one inside our mask group like so. So you notice now that it's not getting in the way of what? Of our character. So then you now want to like polish it a bit, so you can add some other circles to like to just do some coloring. Just coloring. So what you just remember is just coloring work. So remember, just circle. Make sure that inside the mark, so inside the way, inside the mask group. Okay. Alright. There's some similar. Alright. So then you have your color again. Okay, and then you make it what? Color. This is it. So you can either choose to do something like this, or just if you want to just align those reds alone. Okay, just this red alone. What you can do is just look for difference. It's not working. Then we have to select all those red one after the other. So let me just change it back to overlay. So it will still be there, but all those red will come out better. Okay, so let's use overlay. Overlay will work for everything like very well. Overlay will work very well. Can you see it, including his face? So now the next thing just needs to work. Just you don't need it too much again. So probably 40 or 30 should do the trick. No, 40 there. 60. Yes. So you can see that the reds are more highlighted, right? And you still have your greens and your compared to what you had here before. This is the difference. So that's the end of our